Thanks to AG1 for sponsoring today's video.
Hold on, am I dreaming?
So Dodge reached out to me about doing a crate motor for Roadkill Nights with Dodge in Michigan, and they wanted me to do an inline six. It's actually gonna be a really wild engine, but because of some weird switch up in the plans, they then offered to do a Hell Crate Red Eye. And I thought of Erica. Her dream car she's loved for so long is a Challenger. She's owned 5 different Challengers, starting from the base model all the way up to her 2016 white Hellcat. Her dream car is Dodge's own Resto Mod 1971 Challenger Shakedown. But I thought maybe we can do something even crazier. We found the perfect base for this project. Let me just show you how crazy this car is. Muscle cars have been a huge part of my life, being from the Detroit area, but none of them have ever looked as good as this. This car has some light oxidation. It must have been stored in a humid environment, but it's not salt and rain and sleet and snow that we're all used to back north. I cannot wait to roll this out into the sun. It's obviously been stored for a little while, but it did run. Wow. That is the first time I'm seeing it out in the sun. That is a wild car. Totally different than our normal cars, huh? Just a little bit. I'll put that on.
That was the move.
There, it finally worked right. It's a 340.
340,
No
yeah.
way. That's so cool. That's
the Trans Am.
yeah.
So now you got 2 cars.
Yeah. 2 for the price of
You
one.
guys stay safe on the road.
Thanks so much, Ron.
That's super sick.
You old guys will say, yeah, those aren't the same car, but they are the same car.
Oh, that was so sketch.
Didn't hurt these, but those are our...
It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it could. Oh, the steering rack's not even in it. It was able to pivot. Now that we have the car in here, I've never actually sat in one of these before. It smells like a 1970s car for sure. This shifter is amazing.
We had to find a way to.
Yeah, we have to keep that in the car.
You said this was a rally something?
Yeah, there's some rally aspects to it. This is a pistol grip shifter. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, high beams.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick.
Yeah. It first started with me being in their jail back at LS Fest, but Holly has been one of the biggest supporters of everything we've done. The 4-rotor actually wouldn't have been possible without them. And in this case, this project would not have been possible without Holly either. Holly saved my ass on how fast we're gonna move. They overnighted all of this just for this car. We have about 4 days to get this car running as is. Our goal is to have Erica's dad fly in, unbeknownst to her, and be the person that brings the car up to the door when we bring her in to unveil the car. That would just blow her mind. It would blow my mind. And so we want the car running. Otherwise, we're gonna have to pull it with the truck, which I guess it's all Dodge, so it works out well. But the biggest problem, the current fuel tank is completely rusted. And so Holly makes this kit, bolt-in EFI fuel conversion kit. This is cheating. And thankfully, I opened it up and was reading it last night because the mount points are not where you would just naively assume. They're on the frame rail areas, not the pinch welds. This is a post-purchase inspection. With just 2.5 weeks from getting the engine to try and win a drag race, I want to point out that we're doing all of this in 100-degree weather. So not only are we hauling ass, we're absolutely dying in here. When you're using yourself that much, you gotta keep yourself refilled. And so of course, staying hydrated is important, but with all the lost minerals, with all the lost electrolytes, well, why not have everything as soon as you start this day and go crazy? Not only for physical health, but for mental health, for your immune system. This is foundational nutrition for me. And so I start the day with it, and I end up feeling really good because not only are we working out here, I have tons of shipments coming in, it's just a lot of mental insanity as well. And so it's just a great way for me to start the day. When you look at the back of this, I love the multivitamin aspect of it. There are 75 vitamins, minerals, adaptogens, which is, antioxidants, all these different things that are very important to me. And almost every time I mention AG1, we're talking about a different benefit, each of how foundational that is. All that in one little scoop. It goes in. What's really awesome is that AG1 is offering 5 free travel packets and 1 year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 for first-time buyers. Go to drinkag1.com/RobDahm to get yours now. That is drinkag1.com/RobDahm. This rear diff is the weakest and smallest version of the rear diff. Not only is it the 8.75 inch rear diff, that sounds like it's really strong because the Ford 9-inch is 8.8, nasty. This one is not known for that. The pinion on that, so the part that goes in from the front, is very, very small on this casting. So I could take this whole part off, buy a whole new set. You're talking about $2,000, $3,000 to get this up to like a helical quality, and then I still need to buy axles. And now I'm just trying to make something work that existed. We're gonna be looking at doing a Dana 60 rear end, which is what also came in these cars. This is the exhaust system that is on the car right now. There's the rear gas tank, which is a lot smaller than you'd expect.
Not rusty for sure.
Yeah, it's just got like surface oxidation. The wheel is just basically attached to the leaf springs. It's riding on a spring, and I mean that as in riding on, as in like it's aligned with a spring. That's why they do the 4-link, so the wheel has like an actual travel path, which is exactly what we're going to do. This is my favorite test, and it's just force of habit now.
Kind of moving the car though.
Not trying to move the car. Bearing's gone. What's this? So QA1 makes a whole front subframe, rear subframe kit. Timing of how much it would take to replace the whole front subframe kit probably won't happen in this event, but they're sending us the rear subframe kit. We'll have a proper whole rear, so we don't need to worry about that, but we do need to worry about the front. Being the king of trying to make everything work all at once, I've realized some hard stops on how we're going to do this. The new system is meant to do electronic fuel injection. And when you use a fuel pressure regulator, it holds a certain PSI. You don't want to do that to the poor carburetor on this. So then we'd have to get a low pressure regulator that we'd only use just to get the car running. The goal is to be able to pick Erica's dad up from the airport, which is very close to here, and then have him drive it in this parking lot. That is not a big deal.
That's all we want to do with this engine.
It's all we want to do with this engine, drivetrain, gas tank. We're going to actually clean this tank out this really short time so we don't have to think too hard, because when we go to do the power setup, we're going to have to pull that tank anyway. We're going to pop this off right now. There. Nice and simple. Yum.
That's beautiful.
I know that there's metal in here. Yeah, you hear that stuff bouncing around? Yeah. That stuff's our biggest concern. I'm trying to figure out where on the harness I'm supposed to use all my mil-spec stuff. This is the interior harness for the 71 Challenger. It's a daisy chain a lot of things where a wire comes off of this, which is a fuse box, miscellaneous, and they're not lying. Miscellaneously goes to one door to then go to the windshield wiper, that sort of thing. It doesn't split out. You have to chase it down. So we figured out the mystery of the melted wire. That is a very important wire, just like the way I laid it out. As soon as I picked it up, I set this right near here, and I was like, that must be related at some point. What's this wire? And so I trace this wire back, and it goes to right here, and that says battery. You trace it, another copy of it like this. It's a weird splice here, and it goes into here, and it goes to the battery. What's wild is that this wire was no longer going in here because it melted, because the whole car was pulling down some serious current. So it's being short-circuited, and that was one of the reasons that a lot of things were not working. The other thing was one of these wires was pinned, and I was like, oh shit, what's this? It ends up being the horn buzzer that tells you if the key's still in there. You know, that a really annoying old car. Somebody agreed with that thought and pulled that out. So then you get to something like this, and see, here's the daisy chaining that's going on. Trace that all the way back over, there it is again. It is actually a door sensor, and then this is a ground, because these other wires aren't. There's like this weird delay fuse ground thing that somehow must have gotten power. It's a ground wire, so if it shorted to the car, it shouldn't have done anything, but something else must have shorted through that, and that's the ground it used, and it cooked that entire wire. For the moment, we are going to try not to burn the car down. Probably gonna pop almost all of these fuses out, so we can't have circuits shorting out the car. We just have core functions, so that way we can turn on the car and do the whole surprise. And then after that, this is all going to PDM. We have that SmartWire race pack that we originally used on the 4-rotor. We're gonna bust that out for this and use that as our relays and fuses for this entire thing. So this will all go goodbye. This will be the most expensive material on this harness. We need to protect this, and I'm not gonna use electrical tape. I already cleaned it off, but it doesn't even look like I tried. Provide a lot more resistance. Wow, that's a very gratifying thing. But I think we can almost mount this back on the car. All the other connectors connect into this, so it's like a bulkhead all in one piece. This is the steering column wire that all of this is related to. So that's connected. Those connectors feel bad. Look at the other side of the connectors. We are removing the wire that the 2 generations ago owner put on the car. It just makes things more complicated, but it is just a traditional, like from Lowe's 10-gauge wire. Go ahead and just tap it. Does a lot more tapping than works. Mm-hmm. So look at this. I have to like dig into this thing. And look at that, I have it touching, and look what the voltmeter says. But if I rub it around a little bit, so that's what they were trying to get around, was the fact that this one, look at that, I'm literally pushing on it. This is not the way to do what I'm doing, but it's the way I'm doing it. I'm crimping the 2 wires together. So I'm just gonna put this little jumper part into the car, and then that'll just go to the battery.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, chassis.
12.3,
so
yeah.
12.3.
Okay.
There we go.
No.
Whoa.
All the smoke. No way. It's black. Look, get out of
So I was just using the starter fluid as fuel. I'm thinking is that the mechanical fuel pump, it's like a diaphragm that pumps up and down. If it's air, especially with it being old, never gonna get that seal from the liquid to, yeah.
You're good at that.
Moment never gets old to me. That first start.
This is super smooth.
Yeah.
The Lincoln is crying outside.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the Lincoln right now. We're gonna go ahead and put it into reverse.
Yeah, they're moving. This side's moving.
I'm gonna put it into drive. Just again, this is all verification.
You're good.
How cool. It's time for us 4 guys to go get orange mocha frappuccinos.
What the heck is that?
I've never heard of that.
Orange mocha frappuccinos. Zoolander, the beginning of Zoolander.
Oh no, sorry.
I've never seen Zoolander.
I hate you guys. I'm done. I'm done. It's 5:40, 5:50. Try to find a place that has a tire And then Joel realized that there's the spare. This tire was guaranteed, made before Joel's parents were made. Either fix the flat on that one or throw this one on. I'm thinking, that's terrifying.
Well, we'll just go get fix the flat. So instructions say shake vigorously for 15 seconds. Put the little stem at the bottom.
It's a new experience for me.
So it is coming in there.
Oh, you just straight up.
Yeah.
Oh, huh. You don't have to do anything else. Weird.
It'll discharge fully. Now I need to bring the air. Brand new.
This is bullshit. I mean, I'm excited. Why don't our cars start like this?
What do you think?
That's pretty amazing. It's just straightforward and fun. Can't see anything through the windshield. We gotta shake the car down. You're just gonna see me doing this. I'm gonna try and like just drift it. There's tons of shit in the back, and I forgot those like priceless rim covers and everything. Like, okay, I'll stop. So all four of us are gonna get in here and go get a slushie. Hopefully nothing bad happens. It actually is a really nice interior. Smart idea. Gentlemen, where we are going, we do need roads. That's full power.
That was scary. That was scary.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
With 4 people in here, that's pretty good. It does sway.
Oh my god. Yeah, you did the back and forth right now.
Yeah, you feel that? That's not me doing it. We have to redo all the bushings in the front.
You said the wheel bearings were kind of bad too, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, all 4 wheel bearings. Oh yeah. Thanks, Joel.
Angle.
It's good. It's good.
I know my car.
It does look really sick. Imagine driving this with 1,000 horsepower right now with this like shit steering. There's been some peacocking while all of us are standing around enjoying our slushies, and the question came up: would the RX-8 beat this in a race? Let's see. I think I'm gonna get my ass handed to me.
I couldn't say serious.
3, 2, 1, go!
It's amazing how it's not serious until you're losing.
I've never ever felt fast in that car, and that.
This is the whole reason that this project needs to happen.
Look at your front tire. Your front driver tire is like
Cambered in.
Wow. I'm gonna wash it real quick. I know that Erica's absolutely going to love this and lose her mind, but I'm falling in love with this car, and it's not even mine. We actually went to 7-Eleven on the day before free slushies. Go figure. A great waste of $4. So on this car, there is a lot of failure points. We have the actual wheel hub itself, the bearing inside of here, which is very small, but it works. That part's nice. We have the 11-inch brakes, which are actually working very well until the moment that they don't. We'll definitely get some stainless braided hose for that. So there's the upper control ball joint here, which is probably gone. And then you have misalignment joints here and here. I can see that the bushings and that are gone. When we go under here, things get weird. The lower control arm does this kind of wild, like, front arm thing. This is kind of like the FD in the back, actually. And then the second one up here. And so, okay, we got some bushings involved in that process. We got a lower control arm ball joint here. Here is the inner and outer tie rods for the steering system. We got these joints that we have to replace as well for steering wise. And then here's our spring setup right now, going all the way back here.
Jeez, that's long.
We're gonna replace all of these initially with like just AutoZone generic shit, and then move up to like polyurethane bushings, and then ultimately the QA1 front subframe. AutoZone kind of dicked us over, saying their stuff was in stock and it wasn't. I don't learn my lesson, but Ethan went and ran over to O'Reilly's and we got their version of really nice steering links. So inner and outer tie rods. These are actually serviceable. It's kind of cool. Upper control arm
Bushing?
Yeah, interesting the way they do that. Look at the baby.
Oh, that's the one, the outer one.
The outer one, yeah. It's really easy to make plans. A lot harder to take that first step. And so somewhere in here is a bolt. Maybe a nut. I have to be like an archaeologist at this point. This is like arts and crafts. This is a totally different world for me. So you can see that there's actually a lip from this piece. This then sits onto that ring. And you can see inside of there, these two are not the same piece of metal. And we're gonna end up having to push this down. Give me that satisfaction. There we go. I am really impressed with this, that the ball joint actually, is pretty firm. It's hard to tell at human levels, but it doesn't feel like the ball joint's where the problem's at. This is gonna be fun. Nope. I thought this was more like the RX-7 style that we just got, ball joint wise. I thought this was a threaded piece. Ethan saved my ass from getting too far down that rabbit hole. That's not a threaded piece, that's just the base. So we have this random chunk of 2.5-inch tube.
That scared the shit out of me.
I was like looking closer because I was like, it was moving.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is gonna go really smooth. It scared the shit out of both of us.
I thought I was dead.
Yeah.
I thought we were both dead. That was good.
I caught that. There we go. Oh, so it is threaded. Oh, it's gonna be kind of a crazy day because what we're gonna do is rebuild the front of this, start putting the interior into this car, and make this thing look good for Erica's dad tomorrow. I think these are lower control arm bushings. They're different. These are the upper bushings, and these upper ones are a bitch. The lower ones look like they could be serviced. Oh, this is the idler arm. It's such a weird steering setup, but at least we can replace that. So these are lower control arm ball joints, and they just say, screw it, let's get you the whole thing.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, so you guys don't even have to paint these. Do I think that this will handle 1,000 horsepower? Well, it will.
It has to.
It has to. I cannot wait for the QA1 front setup. I just wish we had like 2 more weeks and we could have timed putting that in. And we've got a lot of parts to swap out very quick. This is what we had, and within about 15 minutes, this is what we've got.
That's sick.
Yeah. Ethan went over to G&J and they made it on the spot for him. Exact same fittings. I thought for sure they'd have adapters or something. Now that lets me do this. You can see that that's going to break through. Now, thankfully, there was an inner layer of some sort of weaving and so on. So this is kind of a lazy, shorthanded way of doing this because you're relying on the strength of the arm, but I'm also trying to get 2 done at once, and so we're going to see if this works. I feel like I'm bending the arm.
Yeah.
It was worth a shot. Okay, that was incredibly simple. So those are both press fit in. Look, it is bent. So this ball joint is threaded. We do not have the socket for this.
What in the world is going on here?
This is the easier ball joint. This is why you get the right tools, because this fucking sucks. I am so glad that the guys twisted my finger to say, hey, let's paint these things, because it's really a neat thing to show you what we have and have not touched. Ethan's gone and tried to give us as much caster on this as possible. It was vertical, if not a little bit opposite, so the wheel would just try to turn itself. Instead, it's trailing, and so that means that the wheel's going to try and straighten itself. The spindle, the upper, which you guys saw me struggle with before, the tie rods for this weird-ass steering setup. The only thing we really didn't touch is the interface and connections for the torsion bar. Now, I just talked to a guy named Kevin who's working with Dodge to help us with this project, and he had so many resources for the torsion bar stuff, and really made me feel good that this will be a very competitive setup. This is very, very solid, and the guys are hauling ass on all of it. Very, very thankful right now. Slide this on for the first time for this car.
I'm happy to see that go.
Yeah. Realize they can just pull it from the bottom. So we are getting all the dash on, bleeding the brakes ASAP, because his flight comes in 4 minutes. I'm pretty excited because he doesn't even know that the car's running. I think we'll get a really good, genuine reaction out of him when he sees this. It'll be very easy to see who's picking him up in the airport. So me and Joel are gonna jump in and then see what he genuinely thinks of the car. Nothing like a buzzer beater before the buzzer beater before the buzzer beater. We are currently stuck in park. Something's, one of the brakes or something are holding the car back from us leaving, and her dad's waiting outside right now. That tire's not moving?
This one spins now too.
Okay. Yeah, tighten it back up and then we'll go. And we just won't mash on the brakes like that. The wrong parts were used on this car, not from us, but like brake rotor or something like that, and so it's misaligned. Thankfully, once the car's moving, it'll prevent it from doing what we just did, but that's what we get for bleeding the brakes. It has been a challenge to get a Challenger ready for this. Oh my god, the front's so much more solid.
Yeah,
Look
that
at that.
doesn't feel sketchy anymore.
Oh, what a difference. Okay, that was worth it.
Holy shit. That's even better in person. Hey, what's up? Oh, sorry about the curse words. Hoping you would show up in this. How long have you had it?
Since Thursday.
What does she know about it?
What I've purposely done is given her just enough information so that she doesn't come in completely unprepared. Dodge had offered inline 6. They had some issues with getting it ready in time.
Okay.
So then they called me and like, hey, we're so sorry. We could do maybe a Hellcat. So she doesn't know that there's a Hellcat coming.
Right.
And I think she suspects that I switched cars. She's never going to expect you to be here.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah, so
no way.
like tomorrow, maybe lunchtime-ish,
Okay.
you'll go sit in the back of the parking lot
Yeah.
with the car and one of the guys, and then Eric and I and Joel will film, and then we'll show her the engine, and she'll be like, oh man, that's a cool surprise, and then you'll roll up with the car,
Yeah, yeah.
and then whatever happens, happens. We made it without any issue. We were just chatting up the whole time, catching up. Car's so smooth. And he asked a good question, why are we bringing it to the dealership? It's more so just to enjoy something beautiful before we destroy it. It's not even a boat anymore. It's still boat-ish, but with all that suspension change, it's firm. It's much more
comfortable driving. You
Yeah.
know?
Let's go get our crate
Let's
motor.
go get the motor for this thing. Dodge knocks out the park with just the cool factor.
No, I saw it.
What? Oh, that's the literal definition of a crate motor, and this is our very first one ever.
That should be fine right there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And we got both the engine, the transmission, and then the control module. We have enough parts, I think, that we can make the whole car almost sitting next to the car. What you're about to see is gonna look really cool.
You guys may not know this, but me and this engine have a lot in common. Look, we're both made in Mexico.
I almost don't want to start taking it apart because you never get this moment again.
It does come with headers.
What? No way.
Wow.
Oh my god. Oh wow.
This is big.
That is. What you're looking at is the 6.2 liter Hellcat Red Eye block. Supercharger up here, the heat exchanger between that, so it's like an intercooler. It's got dual throttle bodies. This is your normal throttle, and then this is a bypass throttle body. So think of it like the E-gate on the intake side.
Oh, that's sick.
And so this fat belt is what drives the supercharger. The OEM injectors, OEM coils, remote oil like pedestal looking thing.
Oh, wow.
There it is, the red eye itself. What that stands for to me, 800 horsepower with a warranty out of the box. This might not be as special for this shop, the TR6060, more commonly known as the T56 Magnum from Dodge, and they have the bell housing included. So that bell housing makes it a lot bigger than it actually is. The kit comes with the slave cylinder, adapters. We're gonna be using a lot of OEM Hellcat Red Eye parts on this old car, and a lot of it almost bolts in. This should be the stock computer. You can use HP tuners to tune
nice.
it.
That's pretty slim.
Yeah, very OEM looking, right? You could fire the car up with the stock stuff and just blow. All of this has been done all at the same time, making sure all the parts work. Kind of easy because Dodge sets you up for that. The point of this build is how quickly we can do something insane, totally different world than the 4-rotor where nobody knows. People are just like, hey, make sure you set it on this bar, this bolt, this here, this setting. Like, don't even try. We already know it works, but just marvel at its beauty. So this car is the Rally with an E at the end, spec'd out version of the car. This is one of the defining features of that. 70s to me. We also want to give the right impression that this car is genuinely a performance vehicle. This has bothered us from the beginning. These hood vents are actually functional.
Sick.
So Erica is here. She's a very honest person. I'm a very honest person, so this is genuinely not fake. This is a real surprise.
He's done a really good job at keeping it very secretive
Yes.
and trying not to give any details or things away at all.
Are you ready? So, step one.
Okay.
We just got it
Wait.
yesterday. Yeah, a red eye.
What?
They're like, hey, we got some change in plans. Would you guys want to do a red eye instead? And
Is
I
that
was
what
like,
everyone's getting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
But-
really?
So Dodge
That's so
hauled
sick.
ass, getting us this, the drivetrain, Holly overnighted parts, like literally the next day. QA1, all these companies just come together. Absolutely nuts.
All right, come on, let's go, hold up the new field.
I am
Yeah.
absolutely astonished. What the hell? Because originally we were supposed to have,
The inline six.
Yeah.
That changed the
this is more
adventure.
powerful than my engine.
Yeah, she's got the traditional Hellcat engine, and
nuts.
so the red eye is 797 out of the
Yeah,
box
797. That's dope. So
Yeah.
wait, when did you get this?
yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It'll
when
go-
did you find out that you were getting a red eye instead of the inline?
3-4 weeks ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a long time to hold a secret.
Everybody was like, "Oh, you told her." I'm like, "I didn't.
He
I
did a good
didn't."
job. I feel like you wanted to say something
So bad.
I kept trying not to like peck too
Yeah.
because
Oh,
I would
wait,
have.
I think there's something more. You,
You
stay right
stay
there.
right there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Perfect project car.
I had the tiniest feeling.
This is a 71 Challenger. I couldn't think of a better person to help me drive it in.
Am I dreaming?
You're not dreaming. I'm here.
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry.
How you doing?
Hey.
As you can tell, even I'm a little emotional. To see her excited like that with all of this is just so exciting. Scheduling all of this all at once has been an absolute logistical nightmare.
This feels like a dream.
We helped us pick up the engine. We took the
How
car.
long have you been here?
About 24 hours.
Really?
Yeah. You picked me up in the airport with this.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We got it. It wasn't running. It was all in pieces, and so we picked it up last Thursday. Hauled ass. All of us worked together. It was terrifying. All the suspension was bad.
Oh. You put so much effort into this.
Yeah. This is a 71 Dodge Challenger, as you very well know. It's the same year that Dodge did the shakedown. This is a numbers matching car, and my favorite thing about that is it won't be when we're done.
Yeah.
But the VIN number on this car is really, really cool. The VIN ends in 099999. Joel found it on OfferUp. We had one lined up. The guy decided not to sell it to us.
He was like, oh, I think I want to keep it now.
Yeah. There were like 5 for sale, and they were all like half-ass resto mods. way
Or
more-
too nice.
Yeah, these cars are like $150,000 all done up. And
So what made you choose this one?
it's a perfect car to modify. I'm thinking we're gonna wrap it this nice frosty white. We're gonna like ghost white this thing.
Absolutely. That's
And-
what I had in mind immediately.
Suspension, wheels, just make it just this beautiful monster for the street.
I'm blown away, and I can't wait. I'm so excited.
We don't have much time.
No,
We
we
have
do not.
literally 3 weeks. Erica's taking the car for a little ride.
There's only one mirror in the entire car. Oh, and the brake is like, doesn't work.
The brakes can be a little soft.
Yeah, it's very,
Yeah.
there's like no brake at all.
Yeah.
Where can I go safely? Let's go this way, because this
go
doesn't lead to a road, right?
Yeah, it'll just go down the little my little mini
And the
drag strip.
pedal goes like this
Yeah.
without pressing in at
Oh
all.
yeah, it pivots.
So I'm like, wait. Okay, got it. This is sick. I'm transported to 71. It's so cool. It's just, I mean, it's completely like raw mechanic, machine, like metal.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see like what we can
Do to it?
Yeah, exactly. Like how it looks at the end.
Jump in.
Oh, you're going to show her how it's done?
Yeah.
So what horsepower does that engine have?
This one is 250.
Okay.
So we're going from 250 to 800.
I really don't need a seatbelt for this,
Yeah,
right?
no.
Okay. God, that's so funny.
It sounded good.
It did. You'd never know.
So obviously at the center of all this is the 797 horsepower Hellcat Red Eye. For a lot of money, you get a lot of engine.
Right.
Just a warranted 800 horsepower out of the box. Thankfully, kind of starting from the top though, Holly ended up coming through and saving my ass. So these are the same headlights we have on the FC. And so they bolt right into the car. And they're beautiful, just a crisp modern color. So it'll look really mean.
Yeah.
They made the radiator, so upgraded radiator for all the additional heat, all aluminum.
Wow.
They sent their Dominator, which is Larry's name, Dominator, ECU, and dash and everything. And so I'm gonna put that somewhere else because we're gonna be using the stock dash and using the aftermarket ECU, so all the gauges work. So
Okay,
the car
yeah.
looks stock. And then I called QA1, so they sent me, it's called a 4-link setup. And then Holly sent us these manifolds, but they're so much lower profile, so they don't hit the
nice.
stock car.
Wow, okay.
They make this thing right here to replace the stock one. This won't hit the inside of the car,
That's
the
awesome.
firewall.
Okay.
This
Wow.
is all for the supercharger. They sent us T56 Magnum transmission, just a whole kit. I actually have X Clutch working on getting us a clutch for it. Holly sent us the full exhaust, dual 3-inch. It's gonna burble. I was gonna say brap, but that's not right. These shocks are double adjustable, meaning that when the car bounces down or picks up, you adjust each of those. All the door trim rubber, all of that's coming in. Mickey Thompson, weld wheels. We're building a whole rear axle from a company called Mosier, and they're building it so we can use the RX-7's rear wheels.
Oh,
So we use the same ones on
that's
both.
awesome.
Yeah. Even dating you, I've always wondered why Challengers? Why is this your dream car?
A little bit of history about me. I've had 5 Challengers over the past 10 or so years. I got my very first Challenger, which is a V6 base model, absolutely no options, didn't even have a spoiler, when I was 21. The reason I wanted to get the Challenger, get my foot in the door in the first place, was because I fell in love with the design. I loved the fact that they were bringing the Challenger back in 2008. And I was going to car shows and seeing it there, and I was like, I have to have this car. I've got a Pearl White 2016 Hellcat now. You can only go up from here, which is backwards, of course, in the best possible way.
One of the cool things we've done together many years ago was Dodge made that shakedown. It was a 71 Resto mod, and they were showing off the
So
Scat Pack's
nice.
crate motor. That was the coolest part about it. So it was a car they built to show that you could get this crate motor. We heard it, we saw it. It was matte black, satin black. Just
so
such a
nice.
cool car.
If you don't know what the shakedown looks like, look it up, because even if you're not into Challengers, it'll make your day.
Yeah. I saw the way she looked at it at
Gorgeous.
Springfest, big Dodge event. And so I was like, I want to see her have her own. This project is not rotary based, and so in 24 hours, this is what we've done. It's going